Hey guys, good morning. It's Sonia. It's Monday morning. Do you have your coffee? It's a good day to make it a good day. I completely forgot that today was a federal holiday until I realized that like about Saturday, and I'm like, holy moly, this is a long weekend for some people. So, do you guys have a long weekend this weekend? Is Monday your day off today? Or is it like any other day to you? Good morning, Chris. How are ya? Look, I'm still drinking out of my Merry Christmas mug. I am that person. Remember when I went to the dollar store and I found this mug, like these camper style mugs? Oh my gosh, they're one of my favorites. The lip is so nice on it. A good mug is a good mug, right? Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Brenda. How are you? So today I wanted to talk to you on something that you guys have been asking me about, and that is using basically discounts and selling stuff. Marketing strategy of discounts. Should you? Should you not? You should be beware of discounts, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. You're still using your snowman mug. Oh my gosh. Shonda says peanut butter toast. Oh, I love that. Coffee. Very nice. Well, I'm glad that you are here. I'll keep chit-chatting. You guys keep typing away, talking to each other. And I just want to give you some food for thought this morning. And if you're new around these parts, I'm Sonia with Junk Monkey Paint Company. And every morning I get up and I drink my coffee with you guys and we chat a little bit about business, something to be mindful of, something to focus on. Yeah. If you guys ever have a question for me about business, this is a time where you guys get a chance to ask a question. So this is one that, Candy says, Merry Monday, great topic that haunts me all the time, the discounts. We all want the discounts. We live for the discounts. But what if I told you that your business might not live if you keep giving discounts? You've got to be very, very careful. And you know what? Something that we've talked about here that's been a theme is like boundaries in business. Discounts is going to be one of those boundaries that you're going to have to set for your business, right? A lot of times people will ask if you have discounts as a test, as a boundary, right? Whether sometimes they will ask you for discounts. Oh man, this has happened many times in a brick and mortar store. There are people who are bold enough to go around and go, if I bought this right here, can you give me a better price? Can you give me a discount? Will you give me a discount? If you've ever done that, tell me if this has ever happened to you. If you ever went down the path and you said, yes, absolutely. I'll give you that. If you take that today, I'll give it to you for whatever. And then what do? They tested your boundary. They now know that you got a discount to give them, right? You're willing to devalue your product. You're willing to offer up a discount when somebody asks you. And they will just keep going down the line going, what about this here? What's the best price you can give me on this? Even though you've already got a sticker on it. Tell me if you've ever witnessed that, because that is like witnessing the mindset of how the smell of a discount works, right? And before you know it, you are now slashing your own profit that you need to be able to keep your business operating. You're devaluing what you've already done and what you set as being the price of something, what you've sold before as being the price of something. And all of a sudden now you've got an addicted discount shopper on your hands. Oh, that's wonderful, Jan. Hope your mom is doing good. Bundling. Yes. Shonda says, I don't do discounts. I will, however, give a bundle deal of purchasing multiple items. Some people never stop. Yes, we all want high hop now. That is usually flea market behavior, right? I was sitting here and I was reading about, and I remember hearing about this, so I looked it up. J.C. Penney, right? Think about like the big stores. You know how when you go in there, do you ever, now that you know that they give discounts, do you ever buy anything full price? I think I read that for J.C. Penney back in the day when they made a big mistake when it came to discounting, their full-time price or their amount of sales that came from full ticket items was less than 1%. And way back when, this was called the mistake that really, really ruined J.C. Penney. Back in early 2000, J.C. Penney tried to change their discount strategy. And it never came back. It was like the customers lost that loving feeling and it never came back. You do, Candy. Candy says you have to constantly train your customers. Remember, treat people how you want to be treated, and also train people how you want to be treated, right? What you allow is what will continue. And so you have to make sure that you set the right precedent for your business. But way back in early 2000s, they decided to try to change the marketing strategy. And at that time, you would walk into JCPenney's and everything was 50% off, right? So automatically they really fell into that, or they really like trigger that mindset of, oh, I must be getting a deal. So what did they do? Yep. What they were doing is they said, well, how about if we just double the price of everything? So like if a shirt is $7, like that's truly what the price should be. We'll sell it for 14, put a tag on it saying that it's half off. People will buy it, right? But then they looked at, for example, like Walmart, low prices all the time. That was a different marketing strategy. And they decided that what they were going to do was switch marketing strategies. Well, they had built an audience of, we don't pay full price. We go into JCPenney, remember, full price, full ticket item sales was less than 1%. So all these people going into JCPenney at that time, they wanted that discount. That gave them their fix. They felt like they would not pay full price, like not worth a penny paying full price. So it was a different sort of mindset, right? And so they switched it over, and that's what they did. They started selling shirts for $7, full price $7 instead of 14 with the half off. And what happened? Their customers got very, very upset. And eventually it got to the point where they messed up their marketing so bad that they had to revert and go back again the other way in order to make customers happy again, giving those discounts and marketing in that manner. But it never, ever came back. It was, like I said, the customers lost that loving feeling, and what they had going on, it just stopped everything in its tracks. And that is what's known as the marketing, what would you call it? Like the marketing error that still haunts JCPenney. All right. That went on to haunt JCPenney, that it was never the same after that. When you are toying with discounts, you have to be really, really careful. I mean, let's look at some stuff that we know now. So let me ask you this, for all of us on here who are creatives and you frequent the Hobby Lobby, what have we learned? Hobby Lobby has trained us, right? 1 week full price, next week, chances are that's half off. You don't buy knobs when they're full price, or do you? I mean, you tell me. Have you been trained that way, conditioned that way, that when you go in now paying $5.99 for a knob, I mean, unless you desperately need it, you're probably like, no way, that is not worth $5.99. I'll wait till it goes on sale. Do you hear what I just said? Like I've already figured out the value, regardless of what that's priced for full time, right? In my mind, I've only ever paid half of $5.99 for that because I get it every second week. Okay. So what happens is I'm not going to pay full price for it, right? I'll tell you another way this happens. We know Black Friday. We know Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. Okay. Society has been conditioned, right? That if you are in a business, all right, or use the 40% off, exactly, you got to use the coupon, right? I feel like you're getting some value. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Exactly. So think about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, right? And it's funny now because I will definitely tell you that Black Friday, which was really for like the big box stores, the big stores. And then, we got Small Business Saturday, right? For like the small stores that, they're smaller mom and pop stores. And then we got Cyber Monday for the online sales. Well, now the expectation is from a customer that what's your Black Friday, what's your Small Business Saturday, and what's your Cyber Monday sale, right? Now we've gotten to the point where we want the whole weekend to be a sale. And what's happening now is a lot of this year, I was listening to statistics on the news about how people started their Cyber Monday sales even earlier. Started their Black Friday sales even earlier because now they're trying to attract people instead of people spending their money in that little span right there. Now they're trying to get out of that because everybody's doing these sales now. So how do we like get part of that money that people spend that weekend? We start to sell even earlier than the actual Black Friday day, right? Because that is what society has been conditioned. I see that myself, so I can speak truly about that. What will happen is about a week before, okay, and use this as an example, usually about a week before, sometimes 2 weeks before, what will happen is I'll begin to get messages saying stuff like, what is your Black Friday sales coming up? So it's somebody that needs stuff that you sell, but what do? They put on pause. They don't buy because they have been conditioned to know that if I just wait one more week, then that's a Black Friday sale. And yep, there's going to be a sale and I'll just buy it then, right? Because they're not going to buy it before. So if you take that as an example, If people know there's a sale coming and they don't buy because they've been conditioned to know that a sale happens all the time at this time, what do you think they do? They get conditioned to not buy only when the sale is happening. Now, you know, when you have a business that it costs money, right? There's a certain price point that you put on something because of the materials that you put into it, the time that it takes to put into it, to actually bring it to life, to build it, whatever it is that we do. The moment that we get caught up in that sales, using discounts as a sales strategy, it gives us, yes, a short spike, right? A short spike, a very, very quick spike in sales. But does it really help you in the long term? Probably not, right? In fact, getting so down the rabbit hole in using discounts as a sales strategy can actually put you out of business. And so you have to be very, very careful with that, right? There's so many things. Well, you paid full price, so why am I over here giving a discount to somebody else? They're going to be mad at me going, well, why would you charge me full price if you're giving discounts over here? Does it really even attract the right kind of shopper for your business? I mean, you're attracting somebody who wants stuff for discounts or for free, right? Now, remember, there's a chat in here, how to use free or discounts when you're building a business and you're trying to get referrals, and a very limited amount. And you explain to that person that you're going to be using what you're doing for them as part of your marketing efforts. But this is not the usual price. And you're having that very beginning conversation as a way to get off the ground and get going, because sometimes you just need customers and you need a chance to prove yourself. There is nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and listen to that. But if you listen to that chat in it, I say, but what is wrong is when you don't stop that, okay? When you've got enough, for example, something under your belt, you've got 3 or 4 under your belt, you've got enough now to take it to town to say, hey, look what I did here, look what I made for so-and-so, and you don't shut it down. And you've built a business based on discounts, right? So it can have a space in that sort of way to help you, but it's not going to help you if you let it continue on, okay? And then it just becomes a situation that can get out of control. So be very, very careful with that. Jan says, let's see here. Oh yeah, she went to one store on Saturday to buy mesh for a special order. It wasn't on sale, so she didn't buy it. She ended up buying it somewhere else where she probably got it on sale, right? Naomi says Black Friday is now a thing in Australia too. Maggie, I've had people assume everything in my booth at a festival will be marked down just because it was the end of the festival and hadn't been sold yet, right? I can see that. I can totally see that. Absolutely. People that think they've been conditioned to think that this is the way they operate. They don't want to, so if I ask now, they don't want to bring it home or with them. They just want to like sell what they got. You know what? Maggie's probably got more stuff in the books, right? Because she's an ongoing business. So no, I'm going to take that home and I'm going to sell it to the right customer that's willing to pay me, right? Don't lose confidence in your own product, right? So it even makes people wonder, like, if you're willing to let it go for this amount, is it even worth what you say it's worth? Well, you know it's worth, right? What you say it's worth, because you know what goes into it, what it takes to build that product, and all the people that touched it to build that product, or whatever it is, right? The stress that you were under to do that product. Oh my gosh, right? You know yourself. I'm even thinking about like wedding photographers and stuff, stressful services that people will ask for discounts for, right? Trying to get photographs of the perfect day, right? Of like the day that you want remembered for the rest of your life. And you're going to want to make sure that you look your best, you're paying for all these things. And now you're looking for the cheapest photographer, right? What are you going to get exactly? All right. So think about it like this. If I said that my product was the best because it was the most expensive, and that's not true, right? Like that's just not how it operates. The very best things in life are not the most expensive things. That doesn't mean anything. It's whether or not it brings value to you, right? So why would you think that by selling something at the cheapest rate possible is the best for you as well, right? You gotta set your price. You know what goes into it. You know what you put into it. You know the energy you put into it, and you get what you pay for, right? So using the example of a photographer, you've paid a ton of money for everything else, but you want the cheapest photographer, the cheapest videographer. Do you give any discounts, right? Think about that. And the photographer knows they're running around. Have you ever seen a photographer take photos? My goodness, they're crawling on stuff. They're like everywhere, getting the right views. You know, as a photographer, the work that goes into it. So why are you devaluing your work, right? So instead, you show people, now this is my rate because this is what I'm going to do for you, okay? This is what my product does for you. This is what my service does for you. You can go and you can go wherever and get whatever you want. But if you're working with me, here's the value that I bring to you. So you've got to be confident in your own product, right? To know and to say that this is what you get. So when you work with me, there's no question you're going to get, customer service. I'm going to take care of you. Think about all the things that you bring value with. That is added when people do work with you. I will take one-on-one time to help you pick whatever, because we all do different things in here. Fill in the blank. What do people get when they work with you compared to somebody else, right? Do they get a built-in community that comes with it? What do they get? I mean, you guys tell me here, what is it that when somebody works with you compared to somebody else, how do you feel like? Do you feel like you give something a little extra? Something that's a little more personalized, something that's a little bit more memorable, or go buy it, but good luck if you ever need to talk to a real live person. Think about that. Think about the value that you give from that perspective. Catherine says, everyone wants to feel like they got a deal. Yes, this is true. Nobody wants to spend. We work hard for the money that we accrue, and that money only goes so far, right? So that money, you want to make sure that it's going to the best thing possible. So think about that. Everybody wants a deal. So tell them they're getting a deal. At that price, here's what you're getting. Instead of taking away, build in the value. So we talked about how discounts can give you a short-term spike in sales, but even ask yourself, what does it do for the long haul? Because are those people they're going to fly in only when you have a deal, only when you have a sale? If anything, I would use build in discounts as part of loyalty, bundling things together, right? People who have shown a history of purchasing from you again and again, because make sure that you're attracting the right people and not just the deal seekers that are not loyal to your brand, that are not loyal to your business, that you will never see them again. The people that reach out to me every single day looking for free paint, right? And I've done tests on this. And I know what happens. You never hear from them again. They're only there, right? They are only there. So I'll give you just a real life example. So you guys know that I started opening up a retailer program for our paints. And can I tell you I've learned a lot, but I'm going to be honest with you and tell you what I've learned in doing that the people who come to you and ask you for a free can of paint because they're interested in selling your paint, you may never hear from them again. All right. You know why? Because they got a free can of paint. But think about yourself as a business owner. If I was going to sell somebody else's product, I'd pay for it full price. I'd use it myself. I'd see if I liked it, and then I'd reach out, right? That's somebody who's serious. So a lot of times the people who come for free, are they really going to follow through and do anything else? Or are they just there to get something for free from you, right? Or something discounted from you. So that's kind of a clue to me when I hear that. Well, are you serious? Because, I wouldn't ask somebody for something for free, right? I'd use it, see if I liked it, and then I'd reach out to them and go in dialogue. It's just a different sort of mentality. And remember, you get to choose who you want to work with, right? You have the upper hand. I always say to you guys in here, and I want you to know, you are in control of your life. You are in control of your business, and you can do work with whoever you want to work with and not whoever you want to work with, right? So things like that become telltale signs of the type of individual and the type of relationship that you will go on to probably have with them in the future. So just, be aware of that. Let's see here. Chris says, 2 weeks after my sale ended, oh, this is going to be good, right? A customer sent me a text message and wanted to know why I stopped. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You will get those messages. I've gotten messages how I've ran a deal or a sale for a couple days, and I will get messages always at the very end where somebody will reach out and say, I was out of town. I didn't have Wi-Fi access. Something happened. I didn't get to see my phone. Would you give me this deal? And then I say, no, I'm so sorry. Are you on our email list? Because that's where we send out like any important stuff. Get on my VIP email list, right? If you want to make sure you receive communication and you don't want to have to check it every single day. You know, you don't have to give discounts. You don't have to give discounts. It's totally up to you how you run a program like that. And if you do, and sometimes people get very upset because they start off nice asking you for the discount, and then you say no in a nice, kind way. I'm sorry, you know, it's ended at this point. Make sure you stay on the email list, and I'll let you know if we run another one. That way you'll be first to know. And then you have people who will also go, again, showing you. I just think that history can repeat itself, right? And you learn a lot from how people respond to situations to understand in the future how, you know, when I worked in human resources, I used to do what was called an interview tactic, an interview strategy that worked really, really well. And I'll share this with you guys today, because for those of you who ever get to the point where you're hiring or you're looking to hire now or whatever, it's called the STAR. This is called the STAR approach. Situation, task, action, result. What was the situation, right? What was the matter at hand? What action did they take? And what was the final result? So I don't want to work with somebody in a situation like that who asked for, the situation was they asked for a discount because they missed it, right? At hand was, the task was they approached to ask for it. The action was they got really upset, and then they sent me back an email, right? And said that I got really upset with me, saying that I was a very mean business for doing that. And the result was they got really upset through a temper tantrum, right? How you behave can indicate to you in the future what their behavior is going to be like. So if you think about that, you know, that's a whole behavioral thing, that the mindset that you get of always giving discounts, what kind of customer are you attracting to deal with? I mean, it's going to be really tough for you if you are in a service-oriented business where you're going into homes and you're doing services that, you know, there's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You paid a lot for equipment to be able to do something within a home, or for the equipment that you create things off of. And then people are asking for discounts. You'll never get away with it. It'll never get away from you. So if I hired you to do this now, how much would you do this for? Oh yeah. Would you give me a discount too? Okay. All right. Now what about this over here? You know, if they're leading and asking for the discounts, like I said, there could be a rabbit hole. Now, if you go in and you do, and that customer pays full price for everything that you did, they were so wonderful to work for. They were a full price paying customer. If you want to do something, here's like how you can use a discount, right? Hey, you just paid me to do this when I was in your home. I noticed your fireplace over there. I could really do something with you for paint because you've been such a good customer. You've been terrific to work with. If you do hire me back, I would love to give you a discount to come back and work on that for you. They were a full price paying customer. Now this becomes a point where you're giving value to somebody, right? You're not devaluing what you do. Instead, you're making a long-term customer that appreciates you and what you do enough to pay full price. And then if it's a good working relationship and you want to work with them again, don't set yourself up in business with working with people who make you want to haul your hair out, okay? Then you know what? You can offer them a bundle. Yeah, I'll do that for you as well, right? Add the value to them. Bridget says, I really enjoy when people call me at home from my booth to ask for discounts on furniture. Yes. So if you don't want to do discounts, tell the person working at the vendor store. And you know what? It actually makes them probably feel really good when you do this, because people like to know, like, again, you've set a boundary for the person that you're working with at that vendor store. If you say to them, the price on the ticket is the price, that gives them a backbone when they're out there in the field, right? They're on the ground dealing with the price hunters that come in and go. Even though this is a fully finished piece of like this is not, we're not talking about yard sale, right? We're talking about something that is done, right? Like Bridget paints a fully painted piece of furniture. It's done to completion. It's beautiful. All right. Our project is now done. By her letting the person that works the vendor mall know, I don't do discounts. My price is right there. It is worth every single penny. Then that person is going to feel good enough to know that she can say to that customer, the price that you see on the ticket would be the price that that vendor is expecting for it. and it shuts it down. That's a phrase that I've used a lot in my store. When I first started my store and it was filled with a lot of stuff, thousands upon thousands of square feet of just stuff, like stuff that I painted. And you'd see a lot of people come in the store for that reason, to buy like physical pieces of projects and furniture and signs and decorations and all that sort of stuff. I learned very quick about the whole discount mentality, right? And how it can really hurt you at the end of the day. Letting stuff go out the door where you spent so much time on that, it makes you physically sick that, why did I do that? But sometimes you also get caught up in the fact that they're there in front of you, and it's hard to say no to somebody who is staring you in the face and it's making you sweat because they're right there and they tested your boundary. They put you, it's what's called the song and dance, okay? And maybe I want to talk with you guys more about doing the song and dance. Don't do the song and dance, okay? Do not do the song and dance. But it's hard sometimes because people are in your face. They're right there. They're breathing down your neck. And now you got to say, they were bold enough to ask you, right? They're testing your boundaries, seeing whether or not you will give in or not. And so if you do let it go out the door for less, or sometimes they make you an offer and you say yes, even though it's way low, whatever, and you're there going, do you know how much time I spent on that? I'd be better off if I kept it myself. I can't believe I did that to myself. Live and learn. Never lose, always learn, right? That's why when you grow a business and you go through stuff like that, you get better. You get confidence. You grow a backbone. You know what you will work for, what you won't work for. You know what does make you happy, what doesn't, what you will allow, what you won't allow. It's honestly, in business, it's like when you grow up as an adult, right? There's something to be said that you get older and you're like, why am I getting older? What's happening to my skin? Gravity happens, right? But you know what you gain? You gain wisdom, you gain confidence, you gain knowledge. Knowledge is power. You just gain that right? Because you have life experience. And you look back and you're able to look at situations very, very differently than when you were young. And when your business is young, and when you're first starting out with your business, your baby, hand in hand, right? But as it grows, what happens is, that's why I think that there is just like, enjoy the journey, because if you ever fast forwarded to the end, like I think to myself, if I ever got to the end of what was supposed the end all be all of my business, would I be good enough to take care of it? Like, would I have learned enough stuff between when I started to where I am now? Because it's amazing with time. We want it all now, right? But you know what? We miss out on a lot of stuff that helps us learn and be a better business person as we go. There's something to be said about the journey of being in business, being in the trenches, doing it yourself, right? The pride you get, the satisfaction, right? You know what it takes. You're able in the future to hire people that make sense, that you know exactly what you want them to do, the rates that it probably should cost you because you know how much time goes into it. There's something to be said about, right? As your business grows, you get stronger. So I got stronger. And then when people would come in and they started, flipping tags and going, this price right here, is that the best that you can do? Tell me yes, have you heard that? Is that the best that you can do? Imagine me going to my doctor, right? My doctor going, is that the best that you can do? Right? He'd be like, are you kidding, lady? Go find a new doctor, right? Because who does that? I'm just thinking all the professional services that are out there. You wouldn't dare. You just pay it. But we're small business owners and we're just unsure and we don't have that confidence yet, right? So you know what you say back to somebody like that? Yes. Yep. The price that's on the ticket, that will be the price. Say it with me. Yes. The price that's on the ticket, that will be the price. Yes. The price that's on the ticket, that will be the selling price. Smile, say it, move on, right? The song and dance would be like, well, let me think. How much did I pay for that? Let me see here. I guess I could. How much were you thinking? Oh, I can't do that. I can do that. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. And then you're like, what did I just do? What did I just walk into? Yep. The price on the ticket, that will be the selling price. Thank you. Okay, everybody say it out loud right now. We are going to test it out. Yeah, that will be the price. Thank you for looking. Isn't that so awesome? Isn't that such a pretty one? Yeah, right. Now, one thing I've learned is that people that when you have a business, that you might want that one sale to happen so bad, right? You just want them to take it. But are you hurting yourself, right? are you better off waiting for more eyes to look at that piece and then, right? And then look for the right customer who appreciates everything about that. I mean, it gives me goosebumps when I paint stuff and I put it on my store floor. Like, you know, when that customer comes and they go, oh my gosh, I love this so much. And they say to their friend, don't you just love that? Isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this gorgeous? Right? And somebody just might have walked by it and it never even they didn't even give it a second thought. That just shows you that when you do a piece, there's the right customer out there for it. Your job is to learn social media strategy, where people are, to get more eyeballs on what it is that you're producing, right? That's why social media isn't your business, but it's a great vehicle to draw attention to what you're doing. Because the more eyeballs that see your stuff, the more social proof that you have, the greater chance of you selling something. That's going to increase, right? Remember how we talked about in sales? Like, if you went today and you signed up as an insurance agent and they said, all right, you're going to go out, you're going to go to businesses now or knock on doors. They will tell you, expect at least what? 9 or 10 no's before you get your yes. And so you go out, you get nope. And when you get around 10, you're like, okay, anytime now somebody's going to say yes, right? Because that's just like the law of averages. So business is like numbers too. Same thing comes into play. More people see it, the greater the chance that somebody will see it and love it, right? Stacy says, my husband likes to joke. He says, my best price is actually $50 higher, but I'll settle for the ticket price. LOL. Yeah, right? Too funny. That's how I feel with the whole shipping thing. So one of the ways that a bigger amount, right? Oh, my connection's unstable. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay, good. So one of the ways I give value, one of the many ways I give value to my customers, is that I will pay the shipping when you purchase over $99 worth of products, right? So that's somebody paying full price, but on the business end, we pay the cost of shipping because that's a loyal customer. That's somebody who's not just buying one can. That's probably somebody who's buying it again, fell in love with it, and is now buying more quantities of it, right? So you can find ways to give value. You could do something where you offer let's see, if you buy between here and here, right? The thing is full price, but you get a bonus XYZ. So now somebody paid for that price for it last time. They only expect that they're going to pay for this same price again, right? But you can run things where you like give something on top of what you're doing. That is a great way to build value and to give back when you want to give back to your customers. Chris says, Pam says, how do you feel about freebies to grow your Facebook page or discount? Tell me more. Give me your question when you say that. Freebies to grow your Facebook page. Chris says, I used to have a lady that if she couldn't get a discounted price from me, I texted my daughter because they would tell her $20 higher. Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, really make you think, right? This is the kind of stuff that makes your customers think. So when somebody says to you, oh my gosh, the cost of shipping is more than the product itself. Well, if you're in business, you know that it is a thing that shipping is not cheap, right? So when you remind the customer that, yes, that's the cost of shipping, that is not in my control, but you're right. Maybe I should raise the cost of my product so it's more than shipping. Would you like that to be better? I mean, think about that, right? People who say those things to you, you can control the product. If they see the value in it, they'll pay for the shipping because the shipping is out of your control, right? You don't set shipping prices. I mean, if you set UPS shipping prices and FedEx and DHL and UPS, please call me because I want a discount, okay? And you'd be like, I don't control that stuff, lady. Of course you don't, right? Now, what happens, now this is what I've learned and how I have been able to do better shipping prices. And people will message me and go, how did you get your shipping prices so good as they are right now? And how did you get them lower? Is because I have now sold so much junk monkey paint that goes across the country and beyond that those carriers see value in what I do as a loyal customer using select carriers, and that they have basically given me greater value that I can then pass on to my customer, right? So there's something to be said about loyalty there, right? But I didn't start off with the discount that I got today because it took me some time paying the full price, right, for shipping and building that relationship before it got to where it is today. Does that make sense? But yeah. So when people say about, well, the cost of the thing that I'm buying from you is less than the cost of shipping. Yeah, if you want to reach out to them about shipping, let me know if they can do anything better for you. Yeah, but then you really want to say, but I guess I should raise my rates, huh? To put it higher than the shipping cost. Yes, shipping is based on what you put into your cart, how far you live away, because that company is going to track fuel charges, how big your box is, right? But I definitely have come to find out that the more you put into your box, the better of the rate that you will get versus something small. I'm not talking about like paper small. I'm talking about if you're dealing with a bigger product. Let's see here. Okay, so Jocelyn says she's talking to Pam that she grew her page by 40 people in a week. Awesome. By doing a pie in the face contest between my husband and me. He took that you can't reach by X followers by Valentine's Day. It worked. That's a fun initiative that you can run. That's not giving something away for free, right? You're not giving a free product away. That is something that builds community. That's a great thing because now you're showing the realness of you. People get to see your spouse and you can say, yeah, support me. We're going to do something really, really fun, right? That's an awesome thing to do. If you're talking about doing something, giving something away for free, then you just have to be very, very careful with that. You have to be careful that you're following. Facebook has really gotten strict with its terms of service of giving stuff away for free. There's a lot of people who will scam and say, I will give this away for free if you do whatever. One of the things, when you see me give away banana bucks, that's something free. But I don't just post banana bucks but how I don't use it is going onto my website and saying, share this post for a chance to win $20 in banana bucks, right? I've learned that just brings in or like this page for a chance to win. And you ever wonder to yourself, like, does anybody ever even win those things? Or is it just a marketing tactic? For me, I like to share. If I'm going to share something with somebody for free or on discount, I like to use it within a live video. So if you see me giving away banana bucks as an example for free, it's people who have taken the time to click on a live video. So that means that the people who show up on my live video, like you guys right here today, you are showing up live, right? And so you already know me. If I did something within this video that's for us, my community is going to reap some benefits right now. So how you dangle a freebie, okay? You can give value to the people who hang out with you and go, let's do something for free within here, right? But to go to the general populace of people like throwing spaghetti at the wall, if somebody takes time to spend time with me, then yeah, we can do some fun stuff, right? But I'm not talking about doing posts that say, you must share this video, you must tag 5 of your friends, you must, I don't know. I'm just trying to think all the stuff that you must do for this video, right? In order for a chance to win. I get tagged in those, so I know businesses still do it. And when I see it, do you know what I do? I just delete it. Like, that is spam. I don't even, why? And then you get tagged in stuff that is even like, for example, campers and things like that. And you're like, that's not even for me, right? See, I'm not even their ideal client. I shouldn't even be getting tagged in this because that is truly throwing spaghetti at the wall. That is, hey, anybody, share my stuff. Anybody, I don't care who sees it. You know what you're better off doing is that within your community itself, right? Doing something within your community even, if you think of ways that you want to give back and you want to do fun stuff. But we're talking today about the stuff where your products are on discount. You're giving them slashes all the time, right? Like I ran a sale. It didn't even make it to my Junk Monkey Paint Company page. I just sent it to my email list, my VIP list. If you're on my email list, you're learning about stuff that will never make it to my page, right? And so I sent out, I had a bunch of Monkey Shine wax oil cans, and they went within, I don't know, they might have been gone in 15 minutes. I sent it to my VIP list and I said, guys, here's some cans. I mean, I can't take the dents out of the cans. Life happens when things get shipped to you, right? And they were really badly damaged. Nothing inside, but just the outside looked cosmetically damaged. And you know what? That's not what I send out, right? I think to myself that when I send something to somebody, I want it to represent my brand in the way that I would want them to see it. And the first time they're holding a can of Monkey Shine, not looking like it fell off a truck and rolled down the road, right? Because it got smashed on the corner in a box. So going to my email list and saying, hey friends, here's some discounted wax, knowing that I'm giving it to you guys. That's my community, right? That's my email list. Those are people who stay closely connected to the Junk Monkey enough to put their name on an email list and then open the emails. And so, you know what? I'm going to throw it out to you guys first, right? Versus to everyone on my page. So there are times that you can run discounts, but think about how you're using them, right? There can be a time and a place where you're bringing value. So now I brought value to somebody. It's just a one-off thing, right? And would I do it down the road again? Absolutely. So get on my email list, right? But letting them know that this is here if you want it. And so I slashed the price, what was it, to $11 from $18. So if you could deal with an imperfectly perfect can, then great, right? Because the people who are on your email list and open those emails saw it in time. And a lot of them got great cans of wax oil for cheap, right? So think about how you give value to your people, but just doing stuff for free and discounts to the general populace, the general public, is it really going to make sense? Is it going to give you a short-term spike, or is it for the long term really going to help you out? So hopefully that is what you meant, Pam, when you said about doing stuff for free. Did she write back on your page? I would definitely avoid the share this video, give this video a like, a thumbs up, tag 5 people that you know. I mean, what are some crazy stuff that you've read? And then you get tagged and stuff and you're like, why am I even being tagged in this, right? Yep. Celeste says, exactly. Candy says, Etsy changed their policy to force shops to offer free shipping. I saw that, to stay in search. So we all raised our prices. Yes. So that's another strategy that you can do, that you can raise your prices. There's always the question of, would customers prefer to receive free shipping and a higher ticket item? Or is it better off keeping your ticket item lower and charging for shipping, right? So it sounds like what you guys have done in order to be in the search results. I did see that when that happened, that shops that offer free shipping are going to be shown more so than shops that do not, right? A lot of people went, whoa, what are you doing, Etsy? And that is why I will tell you all the time that you should have your own piece of real estate. You should have your own website and sell from your website so that you can dictate whatever you want based on how your business runs, right? But Etsy, there's benefits to Etsy as well. I used to be on Etsy when I first started. So you know what? I can't knock that, because when you're first starting and you're an unknown, you just need to get your product into the hands of people. And Etsy, think about it like a vendor mall. Yeah, there's a lot of people on that marketplace, but there's also a lot of people coming through, right? So you just kind of got to understand the why and the season of business that you're in. There are some people who are rocking it. Naomi says, I used to be a big eBay seller user a number of years ago. It's just not feasible. I'm doing Etsy at the moment, but we'll shift to my website later. Absolutely. Yep. Use it until you get to a point where it just makes sense not to use it anymore, and then go to your own place, right? Oh, good. Yep. So yeah, good. Pam says yes. So hopefully that helps you really good. Claudia says, I look at those fees like this. They are storing all my photos, helping me get seen, helping me to deal with customers, etc. Yes. When people say to me, like, I got to pay for, I got to pay for this. What? Like, I don't know, whatever it is. I'm just trying to think as an example of something that people have said to me. If there's a fee, yes, there is a fee. It's like when you're doing transactions, think about it. You have laws that you have to follow when it comes to people's credit card information, privacy laws, security laws. When you work with a credible, like checkout transaction, some sort of website that includes that you're able as a merchant to be able to sell from, they are carrying all that risk, right? You're paying somebody to make sure that they have dotted their I's, crossed their T's, and you don't even have to build that website, right? And worry that somebody can hack it. They are up on their security. They are doing what they do, right? At the best of their ability. And that's what their zone of genius is. Have you ever heard the expression that sometimes to make money, you have to spend money? That would be an example of spending money for a good website that people are allowed or able to check out on in a safe, secure manner, right? That is worth the money, because $10 to $12 that you pay, that you can save, and you're taking credit cards over the phone, risking your just risking everything that you have, because you even take, just for that point alone, are you even taking care of credit cards the way you're supposed to be, right? They give you a lot of value when you work with other people. Credible websites. Candy says, thanks, Amazon. Nothing is ever free. Yes, trust me. For a lot of you guys on here, that Amazon is not down on its hands and knees, is not doing everything that you're doing, right? In most cases, Amazon is reselling somebody else's product, right? It's a marketplace. Amazon has some of its own stuff, but do I really think that Amazon is making every single book that I buy off of it? No, right? It's just a different sort of business. And that's also something that you have to make sure that your boundaries and you're letting people know, right? I am not Amazon Prime. If you think I'm Amazon Prime, then you should go to Amazon Prime. I am not Amazon Prime. But that's just it, right? It's set people up with the expectation that I should be able to order and it should be here tomorrow, when realistically, that is not how you operate in business. So make sure you have it posted places, and you're upfront with people about that. Chris says, I was tagged on Instagram yesterday to a loop of 5 creatives to possibly gain 4 or 5 followers. I declined. I already had 2 on my list. When you do those share things, make sure that it's with people who, they can be set up so many different ways, but just make sure that the people you're attracting will be the people that will be ideal customers for you. Naomi says, she's talking to Candy. Nice. Yes. Share your Etsy shop so you guys can all go check each other out and support each other on your social medias. Jan was saying that she feels bad for the business. I might have missed the top part of that. Her husband is blind, and this was their only source of income. Need website other than Etsy, Facebook, eBay. Yeah, I feel bad when I see businesses that go out of business, and I think to myself, man, if they only knew, like, they've got amazing stuff. They just need more people. They need more people. Chandra says, website favorites. I started with Wix. It served me well. Then I moved on to Shopify, and I am a huge Shopify lover. I love Shopify. But when you start off, like, that's more for like when you get into merchant and you have things for sale. Even if you're just starting off and you're blogging right now and you're just creating some pages on a website where you're not even if you're not ready to sell right now, just find a website builder that will allow you to put a blog onto it, that will allow you to be able to create some pages where maybe you can create a website and you can start with doing things like, okay, I'm going to create a page that talks about like how I do commission work, right? So you always have a place to start sending people to, and you can continue to build it out, but just starting with even something very, very simple. Susan says, no dumb questions. You probably already covered it, but with an online store, do you need a vendor license? Are you talking about just to do, if you have an online store, when you're a vendor within like a storefront, different states will require you to have a vendor or a resale license. But if you're talking about just like to go and set up a website, you can go set up a website. But the moment that you start selling stuff and that you're truly in business, that's when you have to go and look at your state and see. Every state's different. I've definitely learned this as well. And see if it requires you to have a business license, your sales tax license, resale license. So if you're setting up a website and you're starting to make money from it, then you have a business, right? And so at that point, you got to make sure that call your state to find out what license that you do need. And then from there, an accountant will help you set up your business. But to just set up a website, you don't need a license to set up a website. It's the part where you start to sell. Did you know that technically that if I had a yard sale and it was ongoing, that I would actually need to set up a legal business because I'm selling? Have you ever heard of people got trouble in doing that? So use that as an example. If I go on my front lawn, I mean, some places will only allow you to have so many yard sales within a town district that you live. But just in general, that if you have an ongoing yard sale, you have a ongoing business, and that can get you into some hot water because now you might be selling stuff, but not going and filing your taxes on that money that you earned, right? So when you set up a website, if you're just like blogging, if you're just talking about your services, that's fine. But when you start selling, that then you've turned the leaf, right? It's now gone from, hey, I'm just talking about how to DIY and the steps that you need and what I do, and I'm building this really pretty website. When you start bringing in money, then the transaction, the business is happening. That's when you need to look into your licenses. And every state is different. Yep, Wix is very easy. No, Pam, I don't. So I just use Shopify. Everybody will have their website of choice. Like you'll start using it and really fall in love with it. For me, I just love the service, the ease of Shopify. They're awesome. The culture. I call into Shopify, and I've at this point I've had so many hours and hours and hours of log conversations because I've done my website myself, and as I go, I just learn as I go. And I'll call in, and they're pretty amazing. They're actually a Canadian company. And when I call in, I mean, I've had so many awesome conversations with people who will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, please excuse my dog. My dog's at my feet right now." And I've learned that they train really well, and they just have such a wonderful, you're connecting with their agents that are across the country. After you call at a certain time, you might get them over in Ireland, wherever, their other fellow associates. But people bring you value, right? Remember how we talked about at the beginning about you go with a place that brings you value. To me, being able to call somebody and speak to somebody quickly, and somebody who's really good and being able to give me good advice, that's worth a lot of money, right? To me. Jan says she had a major Etsy shop and they closed her shop for no reason. She had no website. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and what do you do? What do you do when you put all your eggs in one basket? I mean, would people know where to go find her now, right? And that's the same thing as we talk about with social media or anything. When you're on somebody else's platform, here today, could be gone tomorrow. So if it goes tomorrow, the big question is, if it didn't exist, would I still have a way to make money with what I have set up right now? If not, what do I have to do? Because you're in it for the long haul, right? And it's okay to start off. And like I said earlier, it's okay to start off there, but you'll know when you get to the point where you're like, okay, wow, I have like so much business coming in now at this point. It's time for me to take some of that money and time and just, learn how to set up my own website. So that way it can't be taken away from me. Susan says, yeah, there's a limit on how many garage sales you can have. Yep. Claudia, I have blogs on WordPress and I love them, but their websites are more expensive, but their services are awesome. Yeah, a lot of people do WordPress. It honestly is just going to come down to you for the price point that you like and what you like about it, right? It's just like, I don't know, everybody's probably wearing a different pair of jeans today. Some people are wearing leggings. Some people are wearing jeans. It's not, one's not better than the other. Both have their great features. But what are you most comfortable in? And can you switch? Yeah, even I switched the website that I started with to where I am now because I got to a point where I needed more bells and whistles. I needed more stuff. And for me, Shopify gave me that. And oh my gosh, there's just so much more that I can, as I grow, it gives me space to grow, right? And people are always developing apps for it and things like that. Oh, no, you don't need both. No, you just pick one. It's just basically like competing websites. That's all it is. You just pick the one that you like. Jan says, and get emails from all your customers. Yes. Yeah, exactly. An email list is important. So when you set up your website, you'll have the ability for people to be able, if you select it, basically when you create a website, if you do it yourself, you'll realize how much money you save when you do it yourself. Do you remember when I first started this group, I told you there was a point where I didn't know how to build a website. So I went on, what was it called? Upwork. Have you ever heard of Upwork? And somebody basically took my money and gave me nothing. And they stopped in the middle of, they wouldn't, as much as I'm like, oh, take some time. Yeah, that's okay. If you need to take 2 weeks off. No, they didn't want, they took half the money. And because you set like milestones if you ever worked on Upwork, and they took part of the money or half of the money, and then they disappeared. They said, nope, don't want to do it anymore. So that left me with a bad taste in my mouth. And then, there's nothing like, what's the saying that necessity is the mother of invention. And so, you know what, at a necessity, I'm like, I'm going to figure it out how to do this myself. And I didn't. I've never looked back. But when you set up your website, what you'll find is you can turn things on, you can turn things off at any given time. And so you can turn on a feature that will allow you to collect emails and send emails. And that way you can send announcements to your people. Like the example of what I did earlier with the discounted wax, right? Jocelyn says, how do you take credit cards, etc., for payment for selling anything, Facebook or website? So you can actually set up where people will check out through Facebook, and I did that for a period of time, but Facebook has some really, really, I'm trying to remember what some of them are, some very, very weird rules that I just think that you have to be careful, because things like this, I sell paint. So one of Facebook's rules is that if you sell through them, that you have to give returns. Well, why would I want to do returns on paint? Would you want to buy a can of paint that went somewhere and then somebody sent it back? Like, what am I supposed to do, right, with half cans of paint? So you have to look at yourself. Can you imagine if you sold fresh flowers and a refund has to be given within 45 days, and you sold somebody a bunch of flowers and shipped it through, they checked out through Facebook, the flowers die, and then they say, well, no, I want the refund, right? Like, that's why I say set your own boundaries, because when you work with other platforms, you have to abide by their rules. Another rule that Facebook has for if you do business through them is, and that's where if you go to a Facebook page and you see all the pictures populate with all the items that somebody's selling, right? And the checkouts on Facebook. It's great that your items are there, but now you have new rules that you have to abide for. Otherwise, if you don't honor them, you could lose your page, right? If they reach out to Facebook and complain. Things have to be shipped out within 5 days. So you know what? You have to ask yourself, at the point that I was selling paint, and we started off doing handmade paint, as you guys know, there was a period of time where it could take like a week for you, because we were hand making every single jar of paint, right? And so if it didn't ship within 5 days, that could be like, oh my gosh, because you got to make sure you live up to that. So if you are hand making something that takes more than 5 days to do it, can you sell it on Facebook? So just look at their rules and look at your business and go, could I honor these rules that if I sell on Facebook, I have to do these things for my customers? But yeah, one of the big ones for me was anything can be returned within 45 days. Anything can be returned within 45 days. And you have to ask yourself, could I do that? Would that fail my business? Would that make my business work or not? So I moved from selling on Facebook and moved to my website. Lisa says, do you use an email service like MailChimp? Yep, that is exactly what I use, is MailChimp. And there are many different services out there. So for me, in working with Shopify, it gives me different services that I could use, and I just pick the one that I like. So I have a friend overseas. When I was doing paid coaching, some of you guys might remember him, Robin, and I invited him into the group, and he talked about MailChimp and gave us all kinds of like how to use that program specifically. And it's really not hard to use. And so I decided to go with that one because I heard such good things. Naomi says she is in a group for virtual assistants, and they won't advertise on Upwork, etc., as it gave them a bad name with all the with all the people that you could hire. If you find somebody good on one of those sites, I mean, I'm sure there are good people out there, but at what expense do you have to go through to find them? So if you find somebody that's really good, you know what? Give them your work over and over again, right? And work with them. They'll eventually know your style, and it takes time to build a relationship. Claudia says she likes PayPal and Square. Yep, absolutely. Those are really good ones. If you go with, like, people know PayPal, right? If you go with something that's credible, and then make sure that you are following their terms of service. That's so important. That's a lot of days for anything to be returned. Yes, absolutely. So, and I don't even know. I mean, that was a couple of years ago, and then I moved to my own website because I did not want to have to, if I couldn't honor that, then why would I sell through that manner, right? So I moved, because it only takes somebody to complain that, hey, I tried to, 45 days ago, I bought and I painted my dresser set for me this is my world that I live in. Everybody has different businesses, and you have to decide if it's going to work for what you do. But for me, 45 days later, after somebody paints a buffet, and they have a half a can of paint, they want to return the paint, would that put you in a very, very, what kind of position would that put you in, right? And then if they reported it to Facebook that you didn't honor it, well, could I be risking losing my entire Jug Monkey Paint Company page that I've worked so hard to build over the years, and build relationships with people? So, is it worth it? You just kind of have to weigh it in your own mind. Naomi says Wix has an email service. They sure do. Yep. Pam, you can do basic ones, or you can do a paid one. I don't remember the theme that I went with. So when you go to Shopify, you can take a minimalist free theme, which might be a great way to start. And then when you're doing more transactions, or you feel like your business is at the point where you can pay a little bit more to get a certain look on your page, click through all of them, and they will show you the layout. And go with your gut. Which one is a good layout for, like, what you tend to do, like what it is that you're doing. So think about it from the point of view of your business, and this layout is going to make sense, right? Do I want like more of a blogger layout? Do I want more of a sales page layout? This depends, because everybody is doing business differently, right? Jackie says, with Upwork, there are ways to check and narrow down the candidates before you hire. Good to know. All right, my friends. Well, it's 9:06. So I'm going to get out of here. Awesome chat today. Thank you for being here. As I always say, I hope you learned something, and I left you better than I found you. Give you something to think about today, something to chew on, and something for you to focus on in your business. So don't get down. We went down a rabbit hole today at the very end, talking like about a bunch of different things. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to you know the value that you bring. So just because somebody asks for a discount doesn't mean that you have to give it to them. In fact, discounting as a marketing strategy is not going to serve you for the long haul. Are you pulling in the right people? Is your business able to sustain it? And like I say, at the end of the day, you know the value that you bring, right? For the long term, Good deal. Thank you, friends. As always, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up, leave me a heart, leave me a comment if you haven't already chatted here with us. And if you would take a moment to share this video, help somebody else out, and help keep our community alive and well. Thank you, Shonda. She says, show you care, like and share. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yay, Susan. Have a good day. You're so welcome. Remember, you're not out there alone. We're all here trying to do it too, right? One day at a time. And we want it all. We want it now, right? But what's the fun in that? What is the fun in that, right? In 2020, that's why I say, if you are here in 2020 and you're working on your business and you're doing these things and being mindful of these things and learning strategy for the year, there is no way you're going to get at the other side of 2020 and not have grown your business. Not if you're doing the staying away from the things, doing the things that we're talking about here in this group. So at the end of the year, I want you to look back and go, dang, all that hard work that I did paid off, right? Every little day, eating the elephant one bite at a time. All right, go enjoy your day. And if you are off of work today, good for you. Soak it up. I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Bye.